If you just joined us, this is The Press. We're reaching you live from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. And I'll go straight to analyzing the stories that we read out to you. You can call in to make your contributions or ask your questions. Our guest on the show this morning, our analyst on the show this morning, is Lanre Oloyede. He is the political correspondent for Nigerian Pilot newspaper. It's great to have you on the show again.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Great.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. All right, now let's take some of the stories very quickly. We'll go straight to the Sun newspaper. Even though I hate to start with bad news, but it is, in fact, almost all of the nation's the national dailies has it. Says outrage over burning to death of Catholic priest in Kaduna. And then the police says we have launched manhunt for culprits. All the national dailies have the same stories, and the Nigerian Tribune caption theirs as bandit burn Catholic priest inside residence in Niger State, abduct 5 in Katsina Church, and kidnap another Catholic priest in Ekiti State. But then on the flip side, with regards to the Edo train attack, that's good news.
Yeah, that's the cheery news.
Very cheery news. 12 victims released, 2 remaining, and then rescued rather, and then
remaining 2
released, rescued. Okay, and then remaining just 2. But then when I was reading that story, what came to my mind is less than 2 weeks they're able to rescue 12 victims, remaining 2 people. But then you have same thing happened in the Abuja Kaduna train attack, and they stayed there for over 5 months. Yeah. And with so many talks, begs, and before they were rescued. Yeah. Does it actually mean that on one region, rather, you have security officials who are working like fighting tooth and nail to make it work, and then on the other region is a different kettle of fish entirely?
Annabel, is very simple. The deciding factor there is leadership. Leadership. Body language, leadership response to crisis, to issues is what makes a difference here. You saw immediately that incident happen. You saw the deputy, even though the governor of Edo State could not make it there, the deputy was very, very swift. And you saw his stance. You could see the anger, the outrage on his face. And he vowed that they were going to go after whoever are responsible for this dastardly acts, and they are going to get the people back. You could see the body language, unlike what we get at the national level or at the federal level, where those at the leadership position will take it as if it's a tea party. You know, somebody drinking tea when your citizens are in captivity. It is leadership that has made just the difference. When the 12 were rescued yesterday, the governor went there to the hospital where they were being treated, and he vowed that the remaining 2 will be rescued, and that they will never ever tolerated such kind of incident in the state. And he even berated the authority of Nigerian Railway Corporation, that why was it that they refused to take precautionary or proactive measures, given what happened in Kaduna with the Kaduna Abuja train last year. Now, this is what we talk about. You don't wait till incident. They say injury to one is injury to all. All such kind of incidents happen to one person. You should also know, like, God forbid, let's assume there is an attack in one of the airports now. That is a signal that all the airports are vulnerable, and they should beef up their security. You don't wait till it comes near your own doorstep before you now react. So leadership is very, very key. Even your stand alone, your man alone, and your appearance, the way you confront challenge alone, will send shivers down the spine of the enemies or attackers. But if they know that you are the kind of a leader that is too lethargic, that is a very inept and very lack actions, anybody will want to try you. They will want to test your results.
So it actually goes way beyond just talking, because you get so many governors who are always on the media talking about what they will do, but then this still happens.
Yeah, the Edo State government, kudos to them. They do not only did the talking, they went into action. They galvanized interagency, collaboration from the DSS to the army to the civil defense, even to the local vigilante. They went after these kidnappers and this thing. The action was so swift. The reaction was so swift, rather, because for these kidnappers, it's not as if they have the power to gather to transport or these people as swiftly as possible. If they are able to go after them immediately, the possibility is that they will not be able to go with all of them. But in a situation where incident happen, you relax, you only go in there after 2-3 days. You have given these people enough chance, enough opportunity to go wherever they want to go.
Especially when you have a report saying that over 300 people were whisked away from a school, and then years go by, we're still not able to release them. We still have the Chibok girls, we still have the Beningo girls.
They say is we're on top of the situation. That's the reaction that you get from security whenever it happens at the national level. We're on top of the situation.
It is sad. All right, still on Daily Sun, the big headline here says general election anxiety over expected retirement of IGP, DIGs, AIGs, CPs, and 290 others. The writer to that story says stakeholders raise fears over election security. Military will give police required support, and that is coming from the CDS. That's Irabo. And so I'm sure Nigerians will be asking, IGPs, DIGs, AIGs, CPs, and 293 others to retire before the much talked about elections. How much do you think this will actually impact on the elections with regards to security?
Well, I don't think there should be much anxiety over this. Now, when somebody's retirement age elapses, then the person goes into retirement. It's a system. There are people who are killed behind the IGP who have been in the system for many years. They already have the experience. The gap between them is not even much. So even if the IGP retires tomorrow, the next person that will be in the office is somebody who has the experience, who has been there for more than 20-30 years,
and has knowledge of all
that is happening.
Okay.
So as far as I'm concerned, there's no need for any apprehension or anxiety. Okay. According to reports, the IGP will be 60 years by March, because he was born in 1963, and the 60 years is the mandatory age for retirement. And then if he's going to be retiring by March, the election perhaps will have been conducted, because the election will take place between February 25th and March 11th. So the election probably will have been conducted after, even if there will be need for the president might decide to use his prerogative to extend his tenure for maybe 1 or 2 months just for the election to be over. So I see no reason why there should be apprehension or anxiety over that.
Great. All right, let's take other stories. Let's go straight to politics. Still on Daily Sun, says reject candidates who shun debates, parade forged identities, and slander opponents. And that is coming from Pastor Tunde Bakare as he urges Nigerian voters. And on the flip side, the same story but different perspective to same story on Nigerian pilots, says Bakare says Emilokon will breed dictatorship and imperial presidency. How do you respond to this one?
Well, it's funny when you read something like this from the person of Pastor Tunde Bakare. For me to believe that he made that statement, I had to read through and make sure that there was a quote. It was actually quoted. That means it said that. Then you begin to wonder what kind of a man is Tunde Bakare. Somebody who speaks with the both sides of his mouth.
Really? Why is that?
He's speaking with both sides of his mouth. Somebody who's supposed to be an elder statesman. Somebody who's supposed to be a man of God, a very revered man of God, showing some characters and some traits that
he's not supposed to be.
That is unbecoming. Now, this is the same person before the presidential primary of APC. In his church, he categorically came out to lambast those who are criticizing Tinubu for contesting, for wanting to be the president. I don't know if you have seen the video where he said while others were sleeping, Tinubu was busy working, was busy networking, and that now they are saying that Tinubu is this and that the man is hardworking, he deserves it, he has earned it. He was practically behind Tinubu before so later when he threw his hat into the ring in contest for the presidential ticket of APC, we knew all along that he was one of those who are backing Tinubu. But even though after the primary, after Tinubu emerge as the presidential candidate of APC, he still spoke in defense of Tinubu, that he supports his presidency. So I am now surprised that the same person, the same character is now coming out to say Emulokon that will breed whatever, that people with Emulokon mentality should not be voted for, and or what have you. So you actually want to know where does Tunde Bakare stand? What informs his decision, what informs his speech? What is it that is driving him? Why can't he speak and then stand on whatever he
probably he saw some other changes and decided to receive.
I don't know why it's just because some people might say, okay, maybe there has been some disagreement between him and Tinubu camp or whatever. So I really don't understand, but let's leave that aside and look at the substance of the statement.
Let's quickly take this call.
Okay.
We'll continue. Good morning. Okay, we need you to speak up, please. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good Collins from Otubo, Benue State.
Collins from Otubo, Benue State. Good morning to you. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, I just tuned on to your TV station, and I was like hearing from your analyst in the studio. You see, normally there is something I do believe. No matter how small or old any anointed man is, there are levels you're supposed to speak against them. Because when God called him, we are not there. So you don't know exactly what God tells him each time, each hour, each minute. You see, like if you look at the interview, or I don't know how they granted that the whole contestants came to speak or to speak out their manifestos. The person in question that he was saying, I wasn't there. And normally I do tell you people that I don't believe in manifestos. But if you look to things around, at least the speech that could be made, even the APC candidate himself knew quite okay that he's speaking the heart of the whole nations. The problem is at stake now. At least even though if you are not going to complete it or you are not going to finish it, at least speak it out, not going up and down slandering your neighbor or your opponent that is doing it. No, it's not the best. If you look at Toby, he has never spoken ill against any of the candidates. He was focused on exactly what he was coming to do. That we are a consuming country and we need to produce. All these things we are importing, we have the raw materials and we are taking it out to go and buy them for the finished goods from outside again.
All right. Thank you so much, Collins. Your point is quite taken. Thank you for calling. All right, go ahead. You were going to talk about the comment of Pastor Tunde Bakare.
Yes, if you look at the substance of the statement that he made, you want to agree with him. Because he actually said somebody with a Emulokon mentality, that is entitlement mentality, despite the fact that the pointers around such a person are not pointing in the right direction in terms of capacity, to hold off it. We might want to look at that okay, this person that we're talking about, although you can say it is the right of every Nigerian to contest, but the next thing is, does the person have the capacity to deliver? Because a lot of people are saying, okay, this person he has done this in the past, he has this antecedent. Fine. Is it the same person that we have in 2023 that was then when he was governor in Lagos State? Does he still have the same strength? Does he have the same mental acumen and the psychological strength to power an office as highly exalted?
He has said that he's fit for the job.
Anybody can say that he is fit. Even if there are sometimes you will call a madman on the street that you are mad, you say he's not mad. You will even say that you are the one that is mad. You understand? But he's on the street, ragtag, and then eating something on the dustbin. You understand? So anybody can say that he's fit. But the question is, we've seen from his campaigns, from his slip of a tongue and what have you, Nigerians can actually decide for them whether the man is actually fit or not.
All right. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, sir.
Hello?
Good morning. We can hear you. Turn down the volume of your TV set, please.
This is Dave from KAFTAN.
All right, Dave from KAFTAN, go ahead.
It beats my imagination of what is happening in the southeast. The whole Nigeria are supporting Obi, and what is wrong that they from the southeast should not support him? Now, if it happens that he failed, should they say they are marginalizing them? This beats my imagination.
All right. Thank you, Dave, for calling us from KAFTAN for that contribution. All right, so let's go straight to the stories. And still on Nigerian pilots, Serap threatens legal action if National Assembly fails to cut 228.1 billion naira budget. Why exactly do you think that Serap should be worried about this, or even Nigerians actually should be worried about this? Even Nigerian Tribune says that still says the same story, even though they have different figures. And NAS gets 328.1 billion naira in 2023 fiscal year, highest budgeting allocation in 23 years. That's what Nigerian Tribune says. Before you take that, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my people from KAFTAN.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm Yusuf. I'm calling from Orji.
Yusuf from Orji. Please go ahead. Which story actually interests you this morning?
I'm looking at the story of the man of God. He said that nobody should vote for this or that. The real issue is that in Nigeria, do we really have men of God? I think we have men of stomach. They are on their own. They are not men of God. They are just there to deceive people.
All right.
As far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Thank you so much.
That's the issue. There's no man of God in Nigeria. They are only there to deceive us.
Well, I guess that's your own opinion. Thank you so much, Yusuf, calling us from Orji. All right, go ahead.
Well, I think it is not only Serap that should be worried. All Nigerians should be worried. It's unfortunate that over the time we've seen a situation whereby our politicians, and particularly members of the National Assembly, they have not shown concern about the pain that Nigerians go through. They have never at any point shown empathy with the pains that these are the same position that will tell Nigerians to tighten their seat belts because things are hard. But they are
different.
Oh, honestly, these are the people who want to maintain their own lifestyle. They have set a benchmark for themselves. That okay, this is how much I need to service myself on a daily basis or on a monthly basis. They don't want to go. The ones that are traveling by private jet want to continue to travel by private jets. The ones that use luxury cars, they want to continue. They don't want to live according to the current economic realities. How can we be having a struggling economy that we are borrowing to finance? Look at the deficit in the 2021 budget and look at the amount of money that the federal government, the president has written that we're going to borrow. Already our debt profile is already on skyrocketing, is already on the increase. So where do we hope to get the money to finance that budget? 228.1 billion naira. It was initially 168 billion naira, but these people increased it. What do they want to use the money for? Why can't they look at the current economic realities? That these are the same people that will tell you that Nigeria is broke. When they were negotiating, when Badiamila was negotiating with the ASU, those are the things they told them, that Nigeria is broke, there's no money to pay ASU, that we need to cut our coat according to our material. But those people don't want to cut their own coat according to the material. They want to live extravagantly. They want to live the luxury life that they have been living. If you look at the expenses and all manner of things they want to use the money for, you just wonder. And these are people that are going. They are going by May, and before you know it, when the new ones come and they are proclaimed by June, they will be any manner of housing allowance, wardrobe allowance, cars. All the cars they bought for these ones when they assumed office in 2019, they are going to go away with the cars, and the new ones, we are going to buy another exotic cars for them. Why are we leaving this?
So when a particular presidential candidate comes out and say that cost of governance is way too much, we need to cut them down. Do they does he or she have any good reason to talk about that?
Yes. In fact, we have said that even the National Assembly need to be diced. We do not have the luxury of managing a bicameral legislature. We can afford to make do with either of the Senate or the House of Representatives. So, as at now, we can even decide to do away with one of them, and then maybe later when the country is back on its feet, the country is buoyant, then we can now have the two together again. But as it is now, it's too expensive for the country to carry.
All right, then let's take other stories. Still on the Guardian newspaper, we have group expresses concern over Nnamdi Kanu's worsening health. And sometime last weekend, I actually saw a report saying that the governor of Anambra State, that's Professor Chukwuma Soludo, saying that he wants to become a surety for Nnamdi Kanu, that asking the federal government to release him. And then people are asking if anything would actually come out from that. What do you see with this report? Let's quickly take this call before you go ahead. Good morning. Good morning. Are you there?
Good morning.
Please turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you.
John already. Good morning. My name is Prince Miracle Dawa, calling from Lafia.
Prince from Lafia. Go ahead. 60 seconds you have.
Yeah, no problem. I actually want to say about the observers, they are concerning the Tinubu issue, which of course has to do with the incapability of him handling the country as a president. I am actually not trying to condemn him, but looking back at when he was a governor, he had the physical capacity and the mental capacity as well. And you can equally look at from that moment to this moment, it's quite years now. That's what I just want to talk about. I think Nigeria should decide who should be the president. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Swift and right on point. All right, go ahead. Group expresses concern over Nnamdi Kanu's worsening health.
Well, a group of medical practitioners under the auspices of Biafran Medical Practitioners Association are the ones who made a statement. They made a press release that based on the information available to them that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is in detention, is actually suffering from a medical condition that needs urgent intervention, that he needs to be flown out as quickly as possible, given the intelligence reports that they have. So they are calling on the federal government, and they are also saying that given the fact that several courts of the land have given ruling, and even last year I think an appeal court gave a ruling that Nnamdi Kanu should be released, given that he was illegally abducted and repatriated to Nigeria.
But this story has been in the front burner since for a long time, and then nobody has hit to it. Do you actually think that anything will come out of it now?
Yeah, no, they need to keep shouting. They need to keep talking about it so that maybe hopefully the federal government will have a listing here. They are even talking about the manner in which he was arrested and then rendition back to Nigeria, that it was illegal, given that he, as a citizen of the United Kingdom, that he was not supposed to be abducted the way he was abducted and rendition back to Nigeria. And also, if you look at even the government of Kenya have come out to say that they had no hand in his arrest. The question we now ask is, who are those who arrested Nnamdi Kanu? Are they Interpol? Are they Nigerian security operatives? If they are Nigerian security operatives, do they have the right, the jurisdiction to go to Kenya and adopt a citizen of another country? Or because I don't understand. So, but their major bone of contention there is that Nnamdi Kanu is suffering from a severe and acute medical condition that needs urgent intervention outside the country, and they want the government to release him as quickly as possible based on the judgments of the Court of Appeal last year.
All right. Punch newspaper says Google unveils portal for 2023 elections. So now Google has unveiled the portal for 2023 elections, with all of the correspondent, the political correspondent, with all where you stand or sit as the case may be. How do you see Nigerian electorate? Are we 99.9% ready for the elections, or we still have some lapses here and there?
Well, I think Nigerians are much ready than ever before. The enthusiasm is very, very high. Nigerians want to, in fact, they can't wait from what we're getting from the members of the public. Nigerians can't wait for February 25 to come for them to cast their vote. That is why you see the mammoth crowd at the various collection points where people are waiting to collect their PVC. People wake up as early as 4 a.m. to go and queue in order to collect their PVC. That shows you that Nigerians this time around are eager, they are ready, they want to make the change, the required change, and they want to determine their future. So I think Nigerians are ready, and not just that, they are also ready to take advantage of any technological opportunity that will give credence and credibility to the outcome of the elections, just like what you say, the Google opening a portal for the election. I think Nigerians are ready to take advantage of that, and they're also ready to take advantage of the technological innovations that the INEC has introduced into the election this time around.
So now what exactly do you think that's inspired this enthusiasm from Nigerians? Before now, we're always complaining of voters' apathy, but go collect your PVCs, we always have to ring and ring the alarm, but now they are the ones even ringing the alarm that they want to collect their PVCs, but this is what is happening and hindering them from. What exactly is joining people up?
Two things.
Okay.
Two things are responsible for the first time in which Nigerians have been able to find a credible leader that they feel they can repose their confidence. Before, they see all the politicians as the same. They say they are
one brush.
Yeah, they are birds of a feather that that plummet together. But this time around, they felt they have seen somebody in whom there is hope for a better Nigeria, and they are ready to do everything.
So just one person that is causing all of this change.
That's the change factor in this process. That is what is bringing the enthusiasm, because they see in Peter Obi a different breed of politician. That is somebody. Look at in terms of his record. No, I don't think there's any, apart from Yaradua, I don't think there's the late President Yaradua, I don't think there's any other governor that has that kind of record. For you to be a governor for 8 years, no single landed property belonging to government in your own name, no single pension.
I'm not sure the articulated and the Nilocons, we agree with you on that one.
But the facts are there. The facts are there, and the facts speaks for themselves. Show me any other governor apart from Peter Obi and probably maybe Umaru Yaradua who has that kind of a clean record. These are people who, while in government, they stole the treasury dry, and even while leaving, they now went and do a kind of pension law that after they leave office, they will be entitled to so amount. The government will be taking care of their family, taking care of their children. They will be changing their cars. That's wickedness in a nation where people cannot even have a 3 square meal.
Good morning, Elder Zion, calling us from Jos. Good morning to you, sir. My weekend was good. How was yours? All right, go ahead, sir.
I want to comment a little on the disturbances in Imo State yesterday, where some properties were burned down and some people were killed. You see, this thing happening in Igbo land.
Oh, really? Why did you say so?
Thank you very much. I say so in the part of the federal government. Why did they still hold the Kano? Why did they still hold the Kano? When the court and the judge ordered this against him, why do they hold him? This is some of those things that angering people in the East. That was supposed not to be heard. Already supposed to obey but others. That's number one. Number two, you see, Ugochinet is the chairman of CUPP, and they have revealed so many info plans of APC government, including the plan to disengage rivers to the nation and other things. They're not going to be with him.
All right.
So what I'm saying is that
All right. Thank you so much, Elder Zion, calling us from Jos. Let's take it from where Elder Zion landed. He talked about burning the house of the CUPP, the coalition of political parties, coalition union of political parties. That's Ugochinyere, that they went to burn his house in the east, and then I think I also saw a report saying that they killed his uncle and then injured so many other people. And then according to Elder Zion, he says that it is politically inclined, especially with regards to the release of Nnamdi Kanu, because they've refused to release the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That's why you have some of these arsons and attacks, especially in the southeast. Do you agree with that?
Well, the security situation in the southeast is somewhat that has a different kind of a dimension that you can actually put a hand to, because you recall that during the election, in the build up to the Anambra governorship election, there was a similar attack on the person of Soludo, whereby 3 of his security aides were killed. And then we've been experiencing all manner of insecurity and attacks in the southeast region. And then this particular one that happened on Saturday in the residence of Ugochinyere, the spokesperson of Coalition of United Political Parties. One cannot, they are referred to as unknown gunmen. Nobody has been able to
no, then even up until now.
Yeah, nobody has been able to say, okay, these are also people that are responsible or that are suspected to be. We don't know whether they are IPOB, we don't know whether they are ESN, you don't know whether they are Fulani herdsmen, you don't know. All we know is that they are unknown gunmen. So we don't know the motive that is behind the attack. Although Ugochinyere has been an outspoken person, he has been vocal and critical of the present government, and he has also been insinuating that there is a sinister move by the ruling party to manipulate the 2023 election. So one wouldn't know whether that is what orchestrated this attack, but whatever it is, I think it is condemnable, it is reprehensible, and it is barbaric for such kind of dastardly act to be done, to the extent that one of his uncles was killed in that incident, and cars and other properties in the compounds were set ablaze. So I think it is one of the areas that security agencies need to look at as we build up to 2023 election. You recall that
in the south.
Yes, that is. You recall that last week there was this, news all over the place that INEC may postpone the election because of insecurity or cancel the election, and INEC has swiftly come out to debunk that there was nothing like that. So now I said on a TV program like this that we know that there are pockets of insecurity in some parts of the country. It is not a general issue. It's only an isolated cases. Now, these isolated flashpoints, the security agencies will do well to isolate them and treat them differently. They can treat them like the way they used to treat the off-cycle and off-season elections. Like, the Anambra election that I talked about, there was so much apprehension that the election might not hold. But at the end of the day, the election held peacefully because there was massive deployment of a security agents.
But then a lot of people keep telling you, reminding you that was just one state, and then you have over 9,000 police security was beefed up at the area. But that's one state out of.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that these flashpoints, the flashpoints are not that much like the southeast, the states in the southeast, and some other states maybe in the northeast and northwest, and a few in the southwest. Yes, this number of states that are regarded as flashpoints, they should not be more than 10. So the security agencies can give them different attention.
Okay.
That is different from the way they will treat the other parts of the country that are less prone to security challenges. That's why I'm saying they should treat those flashpoints, those states, as if it is off-season election. They should make sure there is massive deployment of a security
But then
agency.
if you talk about having massive, sorry I had to call in, if you still talk about having massive security forces right there, you still have the same Nigerians complaining, are we in a war situation? Why do you have so many police and so many armies around?
Extraordinary situation demands for extraordinary measures at times. If that is what is going to demand for us to hold election, so be it. It is very important that we do that, so that we don't have constitutional problem, because if elections are not held on the day that it is stipulated, there will be so many court cases and then legal issues here and there. So we are going to be pointing to constitutional crisis. So it is better to avert that. The security agencies have improved in terms of their civil relations over time, in the way they conduct themselves at elections. So there's a way the security agencies will position themselves. They are not meant to interfere with the elections. They are just to man the perimeters. If we are going to be involving or conscripting the military into these arrangements, then the military arrangements have their own rules. They are supposed to be at the first layer, maybe the entry into the states, the entry into the major areas in the state, flash points in the area. They can cordon off the area, and although you know that generally there's no movement. Movements are restricted on election day. So the military can be on the periphery, while the security, they are close to the polling area, but they are not close to the polling station where the election itself is taking place. The civil defense can be the one that are in the polling area where the election itself. So they are distributed in layers in such a way that they do not interfere with the conduct of the election.
All right, just before we let you go, yesterday Nigerians commemorated the Armed Forces Remembrance Days. Different state governors, and then almost all the whole newspaper definitely has the same picture story. And Nigerian Tribune says his last Armed Forces Remembrance Day in office, President Muhammadu Buhari laying red during the 2023 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration in the National Arcade in Abuja. Same you have in almost all national dailies, like I said, different state governors and all. But then on the flip side, I think in the Daily Trust says scenes from 2023 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration in Abuja. Then you have the wives of some of the fallen heroes who have actually lost their life trying to protect Nigerians and make sure that we have sound sleep while they're always right there in the battlefront. Now, would you actually say that we have done enough in terms of honoring these fallen heroes? Like Daily Trust says, 2023 military pledges defense for democracy. It has come to stay. It's coming from CDS. Widows of fallen heroes lament hardship. Are they supposed to be lamenting hardship, even with all that their families, husbands went through for us? It's
unfortunate that that's the situation we find ourselves in this country. Our reward system is very, very poor, and then we don't intend to honor our fallen heroes. A line in our national anthem say that the labor of our heroes past shall not be in vain, but unfortunately it appears as their labor is much in vain with this our own generation. I was watching the news yesterday and I saw some of these what do they call them, there's a name they call them, I've forgotten now, these heroes, some of them that are still alive, and you see the kind of wretched status.
The veterans.
The veterans.
And the
legions, yeah. So if you see the kind of wretched status, you will pity them. You will never want even your enemy. You will never want your enemy to go near joining whether military or any security agencies. Most of them, it's only those who are in higher authority, those who are educated among them, who are in position of authority, who stole enough money. They are the ones that are living better after they have left service. But you see all these combatant soldiers, people who are actually on the field, who paid the ultimate price, their life has nothing, little or nothing to show. How much are they paying them as a pension, the stipend they pay them? If you hear the amount they pay them, this is money that cannot even take them for a week, or we don't even have a home for them where we keep our legions as a social service. We should have a kind of social security service for these people. We have vast land. We have agencies that can build houses for these people, so that once you retire, you have nothing to fall back on. In abroad, they have homes for the aged, they have homes for their veterans, they take care of them. That's where Nigerians are dying. There are many Nigerians who are in the American military. It's because of what they see that government is doing to their further fallen heroes, or the legions, or those who are still alive. Because if they weren't treating them well, nobody will be encouraged to go there. And I want to tell you, the reason why most Nigerians join security agencies in Nigeria is because there is no hope anywhere again. They don't have any means of getting job anywhere. That's why it's usually their last resort. And it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be something of pride that you want to fight to defend your nation. This our fallen heroes and the legions that we are talking about today, that was the driving factor. If you ask them, that was what made them to join, because they have the pride, they wanted to defend their fatherland. But today, how many people want a situation where one general somewhere will pocket all the money that belongs, are supposed to? People that are even fighting, the soldiers that are fighting Boko Haram in the northeast, we hear so many stories about them. The money that's supposed to be released to them are being pocketed by some people. It's so unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. Yeah. Thank you so much, Lanre Oloyede, political correspondent for the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. It's been a wonderful time talking to you.
It's a pleasure being here.
All right, viewers, we have been chatting with Lanre Oloyede. He is the Nigerian Pilot political correspondent. That's where we actually end this segment of the show. So we swiftly move to social media corner, and you have woman and her partner arrested for allegedly battering her 2 children, age 5 and 2. Now you see the horrific pictures right there. It's really, really sad how someone will beat up her own children, age 5 and 2, to that extent. Like what? Oh Jesus! When these children grows up, and then they keep seeing these pictures and how much their body has been melted out, it is sad. I hope the security officials are able to do something about this. All right, so let's go straight to other stories. And there's a particular picture here. It says APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu's famous Bala Blue makes its debut in an exam question. And what the picture is actually showing us is Nasarawa State University, KEFI, actually had their BSc part-time second semester exams in 2020-2021. And the first question, the instructions to that question says, answer question 1, which is important. And now the question 1 says, using the social media trending sarcastic statement, in quotes, a town hall, different from Bala Blue, 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 Bulu Ba. Justify the social judgment theory. Oh God. What kind of question is that one? Really? When lecturers want to... Okay, let me not say anything. But somehow it looks like when lecturers want to look for your trouble, they just give you... But it doesn't look like a bad question though. Anyways, let's just move on to other stories. And then you have... the divorce between Ireti Doyle and Patrick Doyle that actually made the rounds last weekend on social media, and it's been there. And then someone says, okay, I'll take the story first. Says veteran actress Ireti Doyle confirms separation from Patrick Doyle and explains why she still bears Doyle despite divorce, because people had to ask her the question. And the Twitter handler says, please, why are you still putting the name Doyle? And then she responded, says, Ireti Doyle is a name that is nearly 30 years in the making. It is mine. And somebody responded and say, I understand that as a celebrity you can't always hide your personal life, but it is always necessary to announce your divorce? Do y'all intentionally discuss your personal life outside from the public to judge? And then she stated that I sat down to an interview and was asked the question, one of many. I am not responsible for how news outlets choose to cast their headlines. And that's the response she gave. Let's take that video, and when we come back, we'll take more on social media trends.
I had no business being married at that time, period. It's talkless of, let's not even go to the choice of who I marry. We're officially divorced.
You're officially divorced, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The truth of the matter is I had no business being married at that time, period. It's talkless of, you know, let's not even go to the choice of who I marry. We're officially divorced.
You're officially.
All right, so we'll take other social media trends very quickly. Veteran actor Papa Ajasko Femi Ogunrobi passes away. That's what trended last weekend. But it actually came from Hussein Ishoibu, PhD. He said, I have just been reliably informed that the ethnomusicologist, former music instructor with national trope and one-time stand in for the Papa Ajasko character and the popular Wale Adenuga production comic series Papa Ajasko, Mr. Femi Ogunrobi is dead. Johnny well, sir. That's what we saw last weekend. But then immediately he was able to come out to debunk the story, saying that he is alive and well. Let's take that video and we'll conclude on social media trends. All right, so for the Indomie generations or the Gen Zs, you might not understand what Papa Ajasko means. Actually, a comic series that we enjoyed at the time, Papa Ajasko and Company. And then you also have Fuji House of Commotion. Really interesting programs we watch. The Masquerade. Very interesting programs to watch at the time. But then at some point when they started changing the characters for so many of them, a lot of people decided to lose interest. Super Story, another one. Plenty of them we had. That's where we'll leave it for the press this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in, and to all those who called in to make their contributions, thank you so much. We do not take it for granted. Enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, your day. I am Annabel Orji. Good morning.